All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Data Plus Women Germany event. Before we start, I just want to say a few words about Data Plus Women Germany. So my name is Heidi Kalbe. I am an analytics evangelist and BI consultant working with the Information Lab, and I am also a 2020 Tableau ambassador. I founded Data Plus Women Germany together with two other fantastic ladies back in late 2019 as part of the global Data Plus Women initiative. So what is Data Plus Women? Data Plus Women is an initiative aiming to offer women a community around their work in data. We want to offer a platform where you can share your knowledge and experiences, or celebrate your successes. And even though the initiative is originated in the Tableau community, we are absolutely open to people from all technological backgrounds. And of course, we are not just about women. This initiative is aimed at people of all genders because we are united under one common goal, and that is advancing diversity in the data community. So we are aiming to offer a platform to all minorities, whether that be gender or age or language or ethnicity, academical background, or any other kind. We want you to find a secure foothold in the world of data, build your network, discover new opportunities. And Amelie Kuhn said it best almost 2 years ago at Tableau conference. It is data plus women. It is not data minus men. So again, everyone is welcome, and I'm very glad you could join us today. What do we have in store for you today? So we have Katarzyna Szymanska with us, or Kasia as she likes to be called, and she will talk about her data science journey. If you have any questions at all, please use the Q&A feature to drop them for us. Also, feel free to use the chat to give Kasia some love or ask other questions, and I will be monitoring both the chat and the Q&A, and we will have a Q&A with Kasia after her session. If you want to stick around, we do have a couple of announcements, so definitely stick to the end to find out when our next Data Plus Women events will be. And also, if you would like to network with the other attendees, do stick around until the end. And with that, all that is left to say for me is it's absolutely fantastic to have you all with us. Have a lovely morning, day, evening, wherever you're dialing in from. And it's over to you, Kasia.
Thank you very much, Heidi. So I will now share my screen.
Yeah, looks good.
Do I need to move these somehow? Like that. So thank you very much, Heidi, for having me with you here, and to give me the opportunity to to share my personal journey on data science. And I would like to share with you my first experience and what I've done, and how the journey went and where I am at the moment. So before I start, I would like to introduce myself very quickly. My name is Katarzyna Szymanska, or shorter way is Kasia. I'm currently the business process analyst at Imperial Brands, and what I do in my daily job is managing IT costs for different areas in the business. I do as well a lot of IT project management in different areas, and of course, data visualization. And this is actually as well how I got to know Heidi, who helped us to improve some data visualization with Tableau. And before I worked with Imperial Brands, I gained as well a bit of different experience in other companies, and did as well some abroad experience and do internships while studying logistics and economics. And as you can see on my picture below, it's not only my data science journey, but I as well love to travel. So but for the moment, it's not that much possible. But yes, I like a lot to travel the world. If you would like to get in contact or keep in touch, you can reach me via my email address, or you can as well find me at LinkedIn. So before I start to explain or to explain my journey on data science, I first would like to explain what data science actually is. It is actually something a bit like what the fox is doing on the right hand side. It's like diving into the data or diving into the snow by applying different statistical approaches or machine learning or other algorithms to generate some insights to look for any patterns that might support the business in decision making, or even find another data driven product that can support the business. This is actually what data science is in a nutshell. Actually, the word is used by a variety of different areas, but this is, like, let's say, in a nutshell, what data science actually is. And how come that I started the journey on data science, or how did it all started for me personally? I actually started to work with Tableau, and I used that mainly to visualize data, mainly for IT costs or project management. But when diving deeper into data visualization, I realized that we have a lot of areas in our team and the systems we are working with where we capture a lot of data, which is, let's say, called in silos as well. But if you combine that, you can have a lot of potential how to make use of it and how that can serve the business to find better decision, or even new things that were not known before. So this actually was driving my curiosity and to dive deeper, or to work on data science or data analytics topics. And I found that very interesting. And this is why I actually was looking for some adequate courses, or online courses or university courses, which could provide me a bit more knowledge on this area and how to approach these kind of things in the company. And I found a quite interesting course in a university in Berlin. And I enrolled there for data science. And the course was quite interesting because it gave me the possibility to have, let's say, a company-wise use case that could actually accompany myself through the journey, through the whole course. And with this, I could actually go through the whole cycle of a data science project by using, let's say, company chosen use case. And I thought a sales forecast might be a good one, or let's say an interesting one, because you could actually combine different data, the data that is internally available, but as well data that can be combined from the outside, and see which insights that might provide us and how that can improve our sales forecast. And this is actually how I have started to learn to do some data science, let's say. And what were my next steps? So once I have selected the use case for my dedicated course and my thesis, which I needed to write afterwards, was I needed to apply the CRISP data mining program model, which you can see on the right hand side. So this is actually the cycle that you need to go through when you work on data science projects. So this is basically let's say the standard procedure for a data science project. So how you start to work with. So first you need to gain business understanding. So what's exactly the use case? And then of course you need to check the data and prepare the data, do some modeling, and of course evaluate the first results And if everything is working according to the expectations, it can be actually deployed. And this model is not like a waterfall model, but it's just like a more cycle. Like you see, it's like a cycle. So you would need to jump back from each stage to the other if something is not working properly. So it's more like an agile approach than like a normal waterfall. So how I started actually with that, I needed to find some data which I can use for this use case. And this was not that easy as I thought it would be, because I needed to combine some internal data with external data, but even to get the internal data was not that easy, because we have different tools and systems that are applied. And for that reason, I needed to contact several departments and people to get me or to provide me with data I could actually use, or which would be useful. And as well, not only the internal data, but the external data was as well a bit tricky to collect. I was thinking of weather data that I could combine with the information from the inside the company, like sales forecasts for different kind of products. And I wanted to combine this with weather information, as well as some, let's say, bank holidays combinations for different areas in Germany. So I restricted that one to the area of Germany. And it was a bit tricky to get that from the internet. And yeah, once I had everything available, I needed to combine all different data types, because you can imagine that data that is coming from different systems and doesn't have the same format. And of course, data coming from the internet as well. So you needed to combine all data, having one database, and then of course, get familiar with the tools that help you to combine the data. And in the end, to analyze the data and see if there are any correlations or anything that is interesting that we can learn from that, which can influence the sales forecast, and which we could actually combine in our calculation for the sales forecast for different kind of products. And this was as well a very interesting exercise. So yeah, and how have I done that? So as I mentioned, the data that I have collected needed to be combined into one database. So actually what I have used for the ETL part mainly Power Query, because this gives you a lot of opportunities to combine data from different data sources. And you can as well use the software called Talent, which is as well for free. As I faced some difficulties with this tool by installing, I just need to be very creative, and then I decided to use Power Query. And it was a good decision, because I was able to combine everything, and even to model the data a little bit in there, so that I had at the end complete data or data set that I could use for data mining. And in that purpose, I used the Orange data mining tool, which is as well free for free. You can download that one. And I liked it a lot, actually. It gives you a good example how data mining is working. So you can actually combine the data in this tool and try which algorithm works best. You have as well a lot of recommendations. So for which use cases, which algorithm is good to be chosen. And and you see as well how the tool is working. So you can even compare the results when you compare different algorithms that you apply to the data. And then you can see which one is more appropriate, and with which algorithm you receive better results, actually. And that was very interesting for the beginning, let's say. And in the end, we needed to present the dashboard to share the insights. And here I have used Tableau as I am working with Tableau on a day-to-day basis. So this was for me, well, nothing that was quite new, but as well interesting because this was a different use case. So we then needed to present our findings in a dashboard. So this was a bit of the things I have done so far, and I will let you know where I am currently. So the course took me like half a year, and this is now completed. So what I'm currently doing with all the knowledge I have gained and experience, I'm currently looking into potential use cases in our company, just to see which one can be applied with having a feasibility study first. I have detected some interesting use cases, and we just need to see that we can get them started. So once we have the approval from the business, I would then be able to start my first data-driven project in the company. As the course was only half a year, I had as well, I have, let's say, gained some knowledge in the area of data science, but there's still a lot of work to be done. So I still need to practice or have more deep dive into the SQL, Python, and statistics and machine learning, just to better understand and to have as well deeper knowledge, how to apply, and yeah, and even how to work with these. And what is as well very helpful for me is visiting some online events and webinars related to data science. There is a plenty that you can find in the internet. I will share later on some recommendations. And this is helping me at least to understand the wording or things related to data science. And this is very inspiring as well to see how different companies are applying data science and which use cases they are having and with which tools they are working and which algorithms they are using for which use cases. So for this is for me always very interesting to see how other companies are doing it. And yes, which challenges did I face during my journey? As I mentioned, I did this university course, which was actually meant to be in the university. So so this was actually the main reason why I decided to do that. So this was meant to be always 2 days in the university, but due to the COVID situation, there was only one module that was taking place in the university, and then we needed to switch to complete online classrooms. And this was a bit of a challenge because you didn't have the direct contact to the participants, and there was no intensive exchange with the people involved in the course. And due to the COVID situation as well, it was not that easy to get any literature or books from the libraries because everything was closed. So in writing the thesis, this was a bit of a tricky part for me because I needed to look a lot of things up in the internet and using online libraries. And I as well bought some books to have some literature available as well. But as well, due to the fact that we were in the home office, it was not that easy to get access to data more or less internally, because normally if you're in the office, you just go to the people and ask and talk to them. And let's say it's faster. It's faster to get things done. And in the home office, it was a bit tricky to get in touch with the people due to the different situations they were in. And as I mentioned, it was as well a pity that it wasn't possible to have the deep conversations with all the participants from different areas, to learn a bit from them and to see how they were doing data science at their companies. And what I faced as well were IT support issues because as I've showed you, we were working with different tools in the course. And of course, when you're sitting in the university and you face any issues with installing the software, there is always somebody around that can help you to make that work. And remotely, this is a bit tricky, and this is as well the reason why I had a lot of issues with talent, and I in the end was not able to use that to the fullest. So I needed to switch to another solution, because even our internal IT department was not able to support me here on these kind of issues. And yeah, I would like to give you as well some hints and recommendations from what I have learned so far, or what I have done so far. So the best recommendation I got as well, not only from other participants, but as well from inside the companies, that you always should start very small but think big. So that means actually that if you have an idea, even let's say the idea that I had with the sales forecast, if you start with a very small use case, like let's say I only do the sales forecast for, let's say, one product for one sales area, it's always good to start with a very small use case and make it grow and make it bigger with time, rather than starting with the big topic and fail with the big topic. Because if you start with the small topic and have success, it's always easier to get the buy-in from the management or the sponsor to support the idea, to give you the budget and to grow that idea. And then if it's working, to even roll it out to other areas or even company-wide. So this is actually my personal takeaway, which I as well am following with the current use cases I have identified. And yeah, and I see that this is as well for these ones the way it works best. So starting very small, but of course thinking big. And as I mentioned, with regards to literature, so I would like to share with you which literature I have used so far, and which I think was valuable for me. And I still work with these books here. And for me, yeah, they gave me a good insight, and as well, let's say, kind of a lookup literature when I am looking for something or look for explanations. All these books did a great job to support me in yeah, providing or writing the thesis, or even working on the use cases I currently have identified. So these are actually the books I can recommend that are very helpful to understand what data science is, and also help you to apply it and to learn, of course. And with regards to practice, because, well, this was the theoretical part if you have the books, but there's a lot of there are a lot of opportunities outside or in the internet where you can gain knowledge. So you will find a lot of online platforms that provide a variety of online courses, which are very good. I have as well did one of these on Coursera, and I like this a lot. This gives you as well a lot of information and practical tasks that you can use the theoretical knowledge in the end. So I just mentioned a few of them, but believe me, there is a lot more. And yeah, if you would like to work a little bit on projects and even get access to data, what I can recommend is Kaggle and driven data. So at Kaggle, you will find a lot of real life use cases where company actually are placing their use cases and ask for support. And you can even gain or earn some money with that. So the team or the person who is providing the best solution to the company's problem can even earn some money. So this is as well a quite good thing, because you see how data scientists are working, how they are thinking, which algorithm they are applying for what. And the good thing is you have really access to data which you can use yeah, which you can even use to practice yourself. And I find that one quite interesting. And there's as well the GitHub area. This is actually a developer platform, but you will find there as well a lot of stuff, a lot of data, and a lot of books and information that can as well give you a lot of knowledge and inspiration how to do things and even to connect with other people on data science topics. And with regards to online events, I am currently visiting the three that you can see here. So I use the Frankfurt Data Science online events, which are taking place every month. You can subscribe to these kind of events via LinkedIn, and I like them a lot. They are all in English, and there are very interesting people presenting real life use cases on data science, and yeah, explaining how they have done it, and as well show which technology they used and which challenges they faced and which systems they were using. So I like that a lot. It's very informative, and I can recommend that one. And another one is the AI at Business meets CEO Data Science. This one is mainly in German, and they are taking place as well once a month. And yeah, this is an organization that as well has normally live events taking place in Germany, but as this is not possible at the moment, they just switched to online events. And as I said, mainly in German, but there are as well some in English, but as well topic-wise, very interesting and highly recommended. You will find as well a lot of different groups related to data science at Meetup. I like this one as well. I am subscribed to, I think, 2 groups. And whenever that is possible, I try to, to take part in there, to listen and to learn and to see what other people are doing. And yeah, this as well gives you as well a better understanding what companies are currently working on, and maybe as well good ideas for use cases to be applied in your companies, or yeah, even to learn something new. Yeah, I think that's it from my side. So yeah, I am very happy to answer your questions if you have any.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kasia. We do have a couple of questions. So yeah, everyone feel free to still use the Q&A feature to drop your questions there. So our first question was from Violet, and she asked, how do you see the possibility to develop from data analytics to data science if you don't have a technical degree or background?
I mean, of course, it's possible. It will for sure take you a bit of work and effort. And to be very honest, I'm as well not that technically gifted, let's say like that. And it is possible. You would only need to practice a lot. And as there are a lot of nice online workshops and even YouTube channels that really explain the topic on a level that is understandable for people who are not that technically advanced as it might be. So it is really possible, because I say I'm as well not a tech woman like that. It just takes a bit of time, but it is possible. And I can even recommend you some courses I have done, which might help you to go in that direction. And it is possible.
Yeah, that's actually the next question. Like, is there a particular online school or course that you would recommend?
I have recently took some courses on Coursera and edX. And yeah, I like them a lot. And I have, I think I have stored even the correct wording and the name for that one. I can share this for sure. And I like them a lot. So you have a lot of, as well, a lot of explanation and practical parts in there. And if you want, you can even afterwards do a kind of a certificate, but you don't need to. So normally the courses are for free, and the duration varies from, I think, few weeks to even few months. So you can actually select which one fits you best. Either you take one that is really running on a fixed date, or if you take one that is self-paced. And at the end, you can decide either you go for the free version. So it's like you just do the course. And if you would like to have a certificate for that one, you just need to pay a bit of money, then you get the official certificate. But yes, I can look them up, and there is a variety of nice courses. I mean, there are some courses that are only taking part in different months, I think, because they have how do you call that? There is a specific timetable where some courses are taking place or starting. So you need to enroll for these. And then, yeah, and I think the sequence of the courses when they take place differs a little bit. So you would need to check directly on the page at which time the courses are starting again.
Okay, great. So you'll probably share a couple of courses with me afterwards, and I'll definitely have that in a follow-up email. Yeah. Or Kasia, if you want to share your second slide again, you can of course all get in touch with Kasia yourself.
Yeah, you can drop me a note. Feel free to contact me. I can for sure even share a bit more information if you're interested. Feel free to write me an email or connect with me via LinkedIn. So I'm very happy to give even more information on what I am doing and what I have used or what support me best in case of online learning and literature and stuff like that.
Great. So we have a follow-up question from Laura, who thanks you a lot for your insights. And she asks, would you say that the certified courses are more like reliable as a reference, or is it enough to just do like the normal courses and acquire the competencies?
Let's say it depends, because well, in Germany, it's very often like you need a certificate to get somewhere. But in the end, my personal impression is that you don't always need to have the certificate. If you have, well, the practical experience, or if you can really do this, in my opinion, you do not need to have this certificate. So I see this as well in the company, because we have as well few colleagues that are good at these kind of things, but none of them has a certificate. So, but really it depends maybe to for which company or for which job you would like to apply. There might be companies that require not only like the practical experience, but they want as well to have you some certificates. It really depends. For me, it was, because it was, if I look at my CV, it is a bit, let's say, a different thing compared to what I've done so far. So in that sense, it was okay that I made that course at the university, and the company supported that as well financially. So that was okay. But without this, I mean, I would have done that as well, but maybe not at the university, but was probably as well via the courses I have shown. Give me a sec. At these platforms here, because they are very good and they offer a lot of very good courses for free without the certificate. So in the end, what counts is if you're good in practice and not what's written on the paper.
Okay, we have a number of questions from Gabby, and one of them, and I'll rephrase that one, sorry, Gabby. How has your work maybe changed since you did the data science course?
How has it changed? It's changed in the way I think in terms of data, because we have a lot of different systems, and very often if we do projects or IT projects, we are very often limiting the projects to the data that are in different kind of systems, and the idea is which benefits we could have if we could combine these data or the information we actually have in the company, and how this could support us. And this is actually something where I start thinking a bit differently than I have done before, because very often we are focused on one system and we're not thinking like out of the box. How can we even improve this process or that? environment by maybe including this information or combining this and that. So what would be the value added we could achieve with that? And I start to think a little bit like that. And even we even had the idea recently to create kind of like a data lake to really collect all information in one area where we can really use the data that is available there, because normally you have like a lot of silos and it's very difficult to get into data. And if you have that available, you can even create more interesting use cases to even achieve better results. And this is something that has changed a little bit when we are thinking of the projects we are currently working on with, actually.
Do you find that you are using more of the skills that you learned in your data science course than before, or is it just all back to normal?
No, I try, of course, whenever possible, try to use what I have learned. And I'm currently preparing, well, the business cases or feasibility studies. And there, of course, I try as well to explain what is even possible. So I try to explain what we even can do more than what we have done before with applying data science. So I really try to use the skills I have learned and deepen the skills I have learned. Yes, so I am for sure looking for the first opportunities to come, but I will, or I am already starting to use the skills, if it's with regards to visualization or even collecting the data or combining the data, because this is as well something we have not, or I have not done to that extent. And yes, so whenever possible in my daily job, I do start to use the skills I have learned, and I am sure that I will have the opportunity to use them even more with the new use cases I will hopefully be able to apply very soon.
That's great. You already talked a bit about your sales forecast use case earlier. How did your manager or other stakeholders in your company react when you talked to them about like the idea of the use case, but maybe also when you showed them the results of the use case?
They were quite positive. Because actually the situation is like this, that everybody's overwhelmed with work, so nobody has a lot of time from the department to maybe to look into these kind of topics. And I actually, let's say, took that task and tried to look into that, because our departments who are doing the sales forecast for, let's say, a dedicated product area, they didn't have the manpower to do that. And they were very happy and glad that I took the time and took a look into that, and was able to provide some even small insights. And the idea is to see if this can even be applied for the currently ongoing sales forecast, because what we have identified that there are for sure any correlations between the areas where you have some festivals and you have some sale activities, and that there is like a correlation with effects on the sales. And this was data that was, let's say, internally available, but it was not combined really with the information that was used for the sales forecasting. And there were some nice insights that are quite interesting for the areas that are doing the forecast. So it looks like, that this will be a very interesting thing to be follow up, and might even have some impact on the upcoming forecasts that will be done for this dedicated product group.
That's amazing. That's really nice impact. So Vita asks, are you currently working on some kind of pet project, so a project that you do outside of work just for yourself?
I actually wanted to do so, but I was currently so busy with work, and I actually wanted to check again the Kaggle area, and I as well would like to work there to see, let's say, how I can improve my current capabilities with real life projects. Because, well, for the moment, I had prepared the use cases for the company, but at Kaggle, you can really work with the people on some projects, which is not like the things we normally do in our business, because you have their topics that are different to the business. And this is as well something I would like to do a bit more when I will have a bit more time available, to work on a topic that is completely different to what I do in my daily job with related to data, and see um, how that works, if I can learn something, if this as well can give me as well a different view on things. So this is actually what I would like to do if I have a bit more free time.
That's cool.
And I can
Okay.
of course share the outcome. If there is
Yeah,
something
please
to
do.
share, I will come back and share with you, of course, the results.
Definitely. I'll hold you to that.
Yeah. And give
Okay.
some recommendation on these for sure.
Definitely. Okay, we have one more question. Were there any instances in your early career where you had to invest more time to understand the topics on a daily basis?
Yes. Yes, there was something. I mean, how do you know? I work with IT costs, figures, finance stuff, and this is something I didn't had really that intensive in my university time when I was at university. So only some basic knowledge, and in my career in the company and the companies before, this was as well something which was not that intense like it is in the moment. And this is as well something where I needed to invest a bit more time. And I invested time during my working hours to speak with people, to gather information and understanding on finance topic related to IT costs. And I as well got some literature to get some knowledge and background to understand that better when working with finance managers, to understand what are their perspective, which data they need, and what they are interested. So this was as well something where I as well needed to invest a bit of time to learn, and I learned a lot. So this was as well something I am, let's say, used to learn. And let's say the course when working doing this additional data science education helped me then, because I was used to it to learn, even though working full time. It's not always easy, but it's manageable.
Do you have any tips or tricks that you can share for like managing your time when you work full time, but also still have to, I don't know, train?
What I did, and I still keep that, I have some blockers in my Outlook agenda, where I really say like, this is the time until when you can drop me some meetings. And I try to be very strict on that. So this prevents me to, let's say, doing overtime. And with not doing that much overtime, I still have the energy and as well some time left to do some learning or practicing after work. And I try to do that, like when I quit the work, I do a bit of rest or do some sports or a bit yoga, like for 1 hour and a half or half an hour. And then I say like 1 hour a day, and I limit that really to 1 hour, because I very often have days where I do work a lot and I'm very tired. And I think like 1 hour a day during the working week, Monday to Friday, is a good time frame, or 1.5 to work on other topics, so that you still have a clear mind and can still rest for the next day. And this is actually how I do, but I can only keep that when I do need to work longer than I usually need. And this works for me pretty well. So I don't always have like then this 1.5 hours a day. If there is really nothing urgent coming in between, where I do some reading or practicing after work. And on the weekend, I really try then to rest, to do nothing. Because yeah, I just then need to have a real rest on the weekend.
Yeah, that's great advice. Okay, so we're pretty much through the questions, but I actually have 2 questions, so I'm going to ask them. So you probably have a lot of data in your company, and now that you have the, I don't know, like technical skills to work with that, that's fantastic. But do you find it difficult to find use cases in your company?
To be very honest, no. With the time when I used to work with different departments on projects or different initiatives, or even with regards to IT costs, I got more knowledge what the departments are doing, and I got as well more knowledge which systems they have and which data they are collecting. And by extending this knowledge and having a bigger network within the company, it is even easier for me to connect the dots, to think of or be creative, how things could be improved with using the data, or even connecting the data with the internal or with the internal data, or even enrich the data with some external data. And very often I then get creative when talking to the people. And yeah, I think it's easier for me the longer I work in that area, and the more contacts I have in the company. It's getting easier. And of course, what as well gives me a lot of inspiration are these use cases that are presented in these online events, because then I sometimes think, this could be something we could do there as well, but we would need that and that on top of that. So this is as well something which gives me a bit of inspiration, how I can propose use cases to the departments.
Yeah, and that's why networking events and user groups are so important. That's true. Okay, so one final question from me. I know that one big like scare factor in data science or in data in general is always mathematics. So how much knowledge of statistics do you actually need to do like good use cases in data science?
Let's say, I mean, it's always good to have some basic knowledge. I had some, I think, 2 statistics semesters in my university degree. And for me, for the start, it was okay, because with this, I was able to understand the wording, or even what I was reading in the books. To start with this, some basic knowledge is more than enough. And if you start, to dig deeper into that topic, you automatically learn with this. So my personal impression, or let's say what I have learned in the university in statistics, was enough for me to start and understand. And then I was, well, with this basic knowledge I had, I am still developing myself further and gaining more knowledge on statistics. But for me, the basic stuff you learn at university is enough to get into the topic.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your insights. Anyone who still has questions, do stick around for some networking. And I just have a few announcements before we go right to that. All right. So regarding our upcoming events, we do have a global Data Plus Women event. So anyone who was with us in December maybe attended the European Data Plus Women Christmas event, but now we have a global Data Plus Women event. So Data Plus Women organizations from all over the world are coming together, and we have a number of fantastic speakers. So we have Olivia Dwayne Adams, who is Chief Advocacy Officer at Alteryx. We have Elisa Fink, who is the ex-CMO of Tableau. And we have Kayla Guimaraes and Emily Kund and a number of other speakers. So you should definitely join. That is going to next week on Wednesday, again, starting at 6 p.m. Central European time. So the same time this event today started, whichever your time zone may be. And back to Data Plus Women Germany events. We are continuing with our Tuesday events, always on the last Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m. Central European time. Our next one is on June 29th. We have Simone Rehage, who will talk about She Transforms IT. So you can sign up there. You will find the QR codes here and also the short URL. One more thing, many of you already filled in the Data Plus Women Germany feedback survey, so thank you for that. I am working on your feedback. I am trying to get those speakers that you asked for. So if you have anything that you would like to improve about Data Plus Women Germany, any kind of feedback you would like to give me, or any speakers that you would like to see at these events, please continue to fill in this survey. I am regularly checking on that and trying the best I can to improve these events to make them exactly as all of you would love them to be. So with that, the official part of the event is over. Thank you again, Kasia. I will stop recording in just a minute, and everyone who sticks around after that is absolutely free to join us for networking. I will make you all panelists, and you will be invited to join as a panelist again. Thank you, Kasia. This was fantastic. We had some great insights, and I'm looking forward to the networking and see you all hopefully very soon.